What was a fact that you regret knowing? Something along the lines of, if a child is kidnapped and isn't recovered within 4 hours, there's an 80% chance they're already killed. From personal experience, just how fast pigs process a corpse. Had an old goat die in the barn and didn't find her for a couple hours. At the time we had 2 pigs that were a few months old. Didn't realize just how much we had fucked up by letting them be in with the goats that day. Come evening, we go to close up and do the evening chores and find half of a goat spilled all over the floor with our pigs rooting around the guts. And that here's the story of how 15-year-old me learned to respect pigs. The existence of dust mites. My dad and I both took DNA tests for Yerfania, and I found out we are an yurt-related 0% match. There was a woman in the 18th century called Mary Toft who stuffed dead rabbits into her vagina and later acted as if she gave birth to them. The doctors believed her till one of them examined, found corn in one of the rabbits' stomachs. It couldn't have been in there. She also did the same with a hog's bladder and a cat's legs. Also with about 15 rabbits. Don't know why I even know this. Edit. Who the fuck found this helpful? Please don't put rabbits in your vagina or any other hole. Sooner or later we are going to be hit by another geomagnetic storm like the Carrington event of 1859. Only this time, our dependence on technology could make the effects far worse. There are some species of butterfly that like for human blood to suck. Edit. Change sip to suck. Bob Ross actually hated his afro. When he started out it was the cheapest hairstyle to maintain, and once he picked up some traction it was too iconic to get rid of. More people jumped from the burning World Trade Center on 9/11 than you think. Do yourself a favor and don't Google it. The magnitude of how dirty hotel rooms are. I watched someone jump off the Stone Arch Bridge in Minneapolis and saw them pee their pants right before they jumped. Actor Daniel von Bargen, Super Troopers, Seinfeld, attempted suicide by shooting himself in the temple with a .38 revolver. He was diabetic and didn't want to go to the hospital for another amputation. Unfortunately he survived and was severely wounded. He also was permanently blinded from the gunshot. There's a transcript of the police call that left me shook. He passed away 3 years later from a battle with diabetes. I remember reading this is why some people duct tape the gun to their hand if they attempt suicide in case the first shot doesn't complete the job. Edit. For those asking why the duct tape, I believe the idea is that you can damage the part of your brain that affects your vision, but not die from it. Then you are possibly disabled, blind, and in pain, but unable to finish what you started if you dropped or lost the gun. Not much fun to think about. Chainsaws were originally meant to be a surgeon's instrument. The Challenger space shuttle astronauts were most likely alive and awake on the way down. That people dump their old dogs at the shelter in December and get a new puppy for Christmas. That you have to clean lumps out from underneath a horse's foreskin from time to time. An octopus penis is actually one of their tentacles. So if you would go and pet an octopus at SeaWorld or some other place you could be groping their penis. The youngest recorded person to give birth was 5 years old. Edit. For those asking, here's the link. That my father died believing that I was not his child. When my mother told me, it broke my heart and has forever changed my relationship with my family. Edit. Thanks for your interest in my story. It's helped to put answers to some of your questions and to read some of your stories. Cockroaches can fly at 5 km/h and can live 3 weeks without their head. They eventually die of starvation. They have a main brain in their head and also a primitive brain near their abdomen. Cockroaches also predate grass. The last one is not that scary, but kinda scary knowing that you've been here so long, so getting them out will be harder and they will probably outlive humans. Edit reworded some stuff. That my dad likely has terminal brain cancer. I was setting up his my chart for him and stumbled upon the information. Every time you think of a fond memory, you rewrite that memory in your brain. And with time it will slowly deviate more and more from what you originally remembered, without you ever knowing it. Every year thousands of children write to Santa Claus. One of the most requested things children ask for on their Christmas lists is a dad. This hurts. I'm going to get a drink. Edit. Thank you for all the upvotes, it wasn't expected. I'm a single mother myself. This hit home because my father left when I was 3. My daughter is 4 now and just asked me if she could put on her list a mum and dad. I was shocked because she has a mum and dad, but she meant live together. That hit hard. She has a father she sees regularly. We haven't been together since she was 6 months old. From my first job at KFC, you can't really tell the chicken is spoiled once you put it in the fryer. Tapeworm faces are absolutely terrifying. My parents are swingers and now well into their 70 years. Because your body uses vitamin C to make collagen, which holds your skin together and makes scar tissue. When you get scurvy, your old wounds reopen. There was an experiment once where, every hour, a rat had to choose between getting fed or having the pleasure nerve of its brain stimulated. And the rat being tested starved every time. It's pretty interesting, but also kind of sad. Thanks, Freeman's mind. Aneurysms can happen to anyone at any time for no reason, and can burst at any time for no reason. It's harder to recognize suicidal people than you'd think. I don't really regret knowing this, but it's a depressing fact nonetheless. The way rabies kills, once you have symptoms, you're already dead. The strange pistachio you get every few nuts, the one that tastes a bit funny, is because a navel orange worm died inside of it. Sorry. Just think about eating its cute furry head next time. There are regulations on how much ground up cockroach may be in coffee. Not if, how much. Doctors performed surgeries on infants without anesthesia until the 80s. They thought the babies couldn't feel pain. Edit. For those asking me medical questions, I have absolutely no idea. I don't even remember where I saw this fact, but I just always have remembered it. Plus where I got the fact from was referencing open heart surgery on an infant. And adding a source, however, surveys of medical professionals indicate that as recently as 1986 **INFANTS** as old as 15 months were receiving no **ANESTHESIA** during surgery at most American hospitals. This was the New York Times. So there is a good possibility it is still happening in other countries. Also, thanks for the wholesome awards, you weirdos. Stay wacky. When David Foster Wallace hanged himself on his back porch, he tied his hands together with duct tape so that even if he changed his mind at the last minute, he wouldn't be able to escape. He had been struggling with severe mental health issues for more than a decade, so it was sad, but not surprising, when he finally succeeded in committing suicide. I just wish I didn't know that detail about the duct tape. That my date of birth is exactly 9 months after my dad's birthday. Every suicide by hanging that I have had to go to, I can see their regret after it start and before they pass out from the evidence at the scene. I can't imagine what is happening in people's minds as they struggle to fix something they can't. Leads me to believe, just like the documentary about the Golden Gate Bridge jumpers has said, it almost is always a instant regret. How the dolphins really are, rather than being friendly sea creatures, they are cruel ocean menaces. Just research it, if it brave enough. That anesthesia doesn't always works. My colleague donated one of his kidneys to his brother and he experienced the entire operation without being able to move or scream. Pain and all. Took many months of therapy moving on from this.